That's it. Yeah, okay.
Okay, Chris is in the house. How you doing, mate?
Good. Thank you. And you?
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks.
Yeah. Let's start with. I really liked your chat with Sarah. Really was awesome. And I messaged her too. We will maybe even this weekend. I don't know if she has time. Talk for the first time. Maybe on Sunday if she has time. I don't know.
Awesome.
And you know, the next 2 weeks I will be on the community. I don't know if you watched the site.
I did, yes.
Yeah, and did you like it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah, and so I'm really looking forward to listening to your reports on it. And so I guess you could brief the members what this is, because we spoke about it in depth last time we had a conversation, but I failed to hit the record button. So
we both tried Zoom out for the first time, so we both didn't know how it worked. So no problem. I'm right now, like everybody I can see, I'm living with my father this month. I'm here in my old room at my father's house, and next month I will be moving again. But in this month I found a community where I can help out. It's like 15 miles away from where I live right now, and it's a great community. It's like a yoga and a meditation retreat center, and they have a B&B hotel, and they are growing their own organic vegetables and stuff there. And I will through workaway.info I've found that site. Thanks again, Jalen and Jonas, as they recommended me that site. And I found that community, and on Monday I will go there and help out for 2 weeks there straight, helping planting organic fruits and chopping wood and whatever maintenance in the B&B hotel, stuff like that, you know, voluntarily helping out there. And
milking the bull?
No, they don't have animals there. It's just growing organic stuff, you know.
I mean, I just picture you just trying to be innovative and helping out, and so you think that's a cow in the paddock, and you're like that 6 a.m. in the morning with a bucket underneath, with the bull, big smile on its face, and the owner comes out. That's not a cow.
That wouldn't be so great. No.
Oh dear.
Yeah, man. What a great. I really like that that I have that opportunity to help out my local community. Like you talked with Doug Michael a lot about last time, and I really loved that conversation too. Especially because of that, because that's it. Like you mentioned too, like Mark Pescio said that as long as you don't. You can intellectualize everything what you learned, of course, but you have to use it in let's say, call it in this 3-dimensional space here. You have to use it and work with it. And I had a great conversation yesterday with Jonas even about that. Really awesome.
Oh, really? So what Mark Passio says, he says, for any of you people that think you're awake, you are definitely not awake if you do not put the knowledge that you've acquired into practice. All the good knowledge, you have to put it into practice. There's no point in just intellectualizing it and just watching videos and thinking, I'm awake because I know stuff that other people don't know. And then you're gloating over yourself and, basking yourself aggrandizement. And so you spoke to Jonas then. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yesterday, great, and we tried out Zoom too. I sent that to him, and he liked it too. Really, he tries that out now again. He too, and he's in London right now. It's not in Lithuania anymore, and with his brother, and tries stuff out and finding a job and living in a big city like that. It's something different, out of our comfort zone. Me too. We could relate a lot. Same situation almost, it's and I'm moving to the city next month too. I always lived in a village, so I could really relate. Of course, the city where I go to is not so big as London, but I could relate to his situation.
And so why are you moving now to the city? What sort of brought that on?
Yeah, you saw always we talked in the room I was with my friend, but I couldn't live with him really anymore. He was like, too much, let's say, I don't want to discredit him, but let's say it this way, too much of a negative person, let's say it this way.
Right.
And I couldn't live with that anymore. Too much, negativity around, let's say. And that's why I'm now living this month with my father here. And next month I have that apartment in the city. That's, will be, like I said, totally out of my comfort zone, living in the city. So
yes, and I suppose that you'll be doing some job hunting.
You know me, not really. you know me. Let's look. I'm really looking forward to helping the community. Really, that's I voluntarily work. Fuck about money, you know. I don't give a fuck. I do what I like. You talk with Doug about, you know, really helping the local community. I don't care how much money I make. I really want to help people. I really want to spread wisdom around. Maybe that sounds arrogant, but it's and I was one day there, and I met great people there in the community. One guy was really interested in me. I will grow some fruits with him next week, because I said to him, in 2014 I changed my whole life around, and then he was really interested because he's from Spain, and he had really he changed his life around too after his ayahuasca experience, you know, and great people there. I can relate to them, and
cool. The only thing that I'm a bit curious as in the UK, the social security system bring about enormous pressure upon the people that are in receipt of benefit. They don't pay them their full rent they're paying, and so you always are getting behind. You get behind eventually, naturally, to a position whereby you can no longer fend off your landlord, and he tells you to piss off. The Social Security or the council, they tell you to find cheaper accommodation, which isn't feasible. What they want to give you, it isn't feasible. You can only barely get a room in a shared house. Barely what they are asking you. They don't want to fund you to live in an apartment on your own or a small house on your own like they used to in the old days. They expect you to live like chickens. And they expect you to live with absolute bare minimum. But they want you to have a computer. They want you to be able to fund that. They want you to have a phone. They want you to be able to fund that. And they want you to be able to traverse all around the city, applying for jobs, all this expense incurred, and yet they're stifling and crippling and suppressing and bullying all of the people on benefits. So how's that work in Germany?
Same procedure. You explained it in a really good way. It's in Germany. It's almost the same, like you said. It's just the only different I heard is here in Germany. If you find an apartment like I now found in the city, they're paying the whole rent. It's not like they're paying just a part of the rent. They're paying the whole rent. But again, you have to live with. Like again, same with in England, you have to live with the minimum what you have, you know. But that's not a problem with me. Again, yesterday, great conversation with Jonas. I live now for 5 years on, let's call it, benefit here in Germany, and I so minimalistically. I talked to Jonas too a lot about that, and the only thing I have is this PC and my juicer, you know. And that's the only thing I have.
I lived like that for 2 years, also, but. Towards the end of the 2 years, they were saying to me, Mr. Berry, you've been on benefit now for 2 years. I mean, it's getting quite absurd. There must be jobs out there for you. and I was saying, look, I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm a qualified person. And gone are the days when I'm pulling potatoes out of the field or I'm packing chickens in a factory for minimum wage. I'm 54 years old. I've got a vast education of the world. And so I think I deserve a little bit better. In view of the government's present bullying tactics, I'm not subscribing to it. And if you don't subscribe to it, they can't push you any further, but they do try.
Same here, same. Of course they try, and of course in Germany it's the same. They try to push you into jobs you don't want to do. Of course they're doing that with me too, but I'm not stupid. I know my right.
Dead-end jobs that don't pay you any more at the end of the week than you're getting on benefit.
Most of the time here in Germany, you even if you go to a job now, if I would take a job like they offer me, I would even get less money and working, you know. I would even get less money than now, you know, and even would work then the whole fucking week, like 40 hours or almost.
And then
like
the people, you see, they're trained to intimidate you in such a way because they go to incessant meetings all the time and they've got targets to meet, and they're under pressure because they've got targets to get people off benefits, and so they have to deploy the demeaning tactics because there are no suitable positions for many people, and so because they're under pressure, then they put the pressure upon yourselves, and then they say things like, well, I mean, don't you feel like you're being a deficit to the country? And it's kind of like, what you're telling me now I'm bludgeoning off the country? And I used to say to them, I don't feel a lot of guilt about that because one Exocet missile costs £60,000 and they fly them over the sheds and chicken huts in Afghanistan like they're going out of freaking fashion. And so with all the armaments and the war machine and everything like that, don't talk to me about, like, you know, my epoxy £10 a day. Don't insult me.
That's what really getting interesting for me, because here in the village I managed to do that with let's say the local government here, because they try here, and I don't know if there's an English word for it. It's called in Germany Eingliederungsvereinbarung. It's something you don't have to sign, but if you sign that, they can put you in any kind of job. And when you say I don't do it, they don't give you money anymore. You know. But I'm not stupid. I looked into the laws and stuff, and you don't have to sign that. And when you don't sign that, they have to make angepasste Eingliederungsvereinbarung, something different a little bit, and then you don't give your rights up. And they can't force me in doing something, you know. That's the thing. But again, when I move to the city, I'm going to another local government, you know, because it's far away. And of course, they will try that again with me, you know. But I know my rights, you know, they can do that. But they will try that again next month with me. I know that.
Yeah.
So,
power to the people.
Great conversation with Market. I watched the video. Yeah, we really have to grow balls and say, fuck it, you know. I don't consent with that bullshit, you know. And when you're sticking to your rights, when you know your rights, because most of the people don't know their rights. That's the problem.
They won't read the literature. They're intimidated, and they'll just sign anything. And then once you've signed it, that's right. You
consented then. I had that too in the beginning, like 5 years ago. They got with me with that formula, with that Eingliederungsvereinbarung, and I asked them, for what is that? And they just said to me, it's for finding work, you know, that you find work faster. And I was so stupid at that point. Sign that bullshit, you know. And so every half of year, you have to sign it again, you know. Right. They only can do that for half of year. And then I looked in that half of year, really research, and I saw that's even illegal what they're doing, you know. They don't, it's not really illegal, but it's a gray area, let's say.
Very questionable. That's right.
It's a gray area. That's why, as after the half year, I was, they tried again to that I signed that, and I said to them, no, I don't have to sign that. And they say, yeah, okay, you don't have to sign that. And then I said to them, yeah, I know Article 23 and this law and this law. And the eyes from them got bigger and bigger and bigger. And they asked me, where do you know that stuff from? And I said, it's all on the fucking internet, you know, you can read that. It's not a secret, you know.
Yeah, for people that read and do a little bit of research, instead of just following orders, it's all there. And this is the thing about it, you see, all the information is there somewhere if you are bothered and have the time and inclination to do the research. And this is the whole thing with the language that they've got. They what do they call the language? They call it American slang or something like this, because the language which they imprison us with isn't in the English Styles manual. It's not real English. Anything that's written in capital letters, all capital letters, isn't English. It absolutely is not English.
I know all that strawman bullshit.
All that strawman bullshit. And so this is why they imprison us with these capital letters, with a birth certificate, with a passport and the driver's license, and any bills. They threaten us, and because it's about this name, because this is the strawman. This isn't the human being. This is the character which is created when they create the birth certificate.
Yeah. Wait a sec. I can show you a funny thing.
Right.
Because last year I think my passport was not expired. My passport expired, and I had to get a new fucking one. These new fucking one in Germany are like these plastic cards, like a driver license.
Okay.
And I researched, and I knew there's a RFID chip in that. There's
Is there?
Yeah, there is. And the funny thing is, I watched on YouTube how can you deactivate it, and you just have to put it in the microwave for a few seconds. But I just make sure, and I put it too long in the microwave. And when you do that, your IFD chip burns, and it looks like that then. There's the RFID chip, there it is in there. So
right. So they can monitor you where you are anywhere in the world.
No, not anymore.
Yeah. But you see, that RFID chip is used for a scanning thing when you go to airports, because increasingly what they're doing is that they're not going to man them anymore. You have to put them through an electronic gate where you stand there like that on a particular spot, you look into the camera, you put your card down like that, and then they scan it, and then they open the gate and let you go through like a cow in a freaking pen, And so that facility won't work, and I don't know whether you've got no plans to go abroad, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna have something to say about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to go this year visiting Irit and Patrick in South France. So I will go to the airport. So I don't know what they're doing there. So I don't know if I have to. That's a good point. I maybe have to buy get a new one for that.
Yeah, or a little bit of research just to see if anybody else has actually burnt it and come into problems when they go to the borders. You see, I've got a paper passport, like the standard European one, and in the back of it, it's got a wired circuit. It's got a circuit which can be electronically read by the machine. And so it's the same like that. I don't know whether it's an RFID.
Yeah, in the German one too, in the Reisepass, it's called. It's paper one too.
Yeah.
But they can make RFID chips so thin that they are in these paper things too.
Yeah,
RFID chips too.
It probably is that then.
Yeah, I think so. In the German ones, I don't know in the English ones, but in the German ones, there's still RFID chips. In there.
So this is something to reckon with, people, because these days they're listening to every single thing you say. And if, for instance, like Chris and I say, I'm thinking about, you've just said it. Chris has just said that he's hoping to go to the south of France to visit some of the community.
Yeah, I read the Patrick. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to mention their name because now they'll be under surveillance as well. What did you see? What you'll find is if you had an iPhone or an Android phone, then you'll be getting all different sorts of hotels and packages and flight details too, if you mentioned the specific area, but you never mentioned the specific area, and so you probably won't get that. But be mindful of this, people. When you are saying something on one of these conversations, look at what the pop-ups are giving you from Google over the next 24 hours, and you will find that invariably they're related to things you've said in a conversation. Now, I absolutely know categorically it is true that the Android and the iPhone are listening to every single thing you say. Now, Facebook admit that they're doing this, and CNN and other media companies have covered this in actual fact. And they're saying, like, do you know that Facebook is listening to everything you say? And they're saying, yes, it's really curious because I mentioned to my husband the other day that I wanted to buy a bouquet of flowers for, someone's friend. And then all of a sudden, all the pop-ups on the computer, Facebook and everything, it was all about bouquets of flowers delivered to you, this, that, and the other. This is how surveilled we are becoming. But what Facebook say, they say we're not storing the information. It's created via the algorithm, and it's just picking up words to see if it can help you.
Yeah, that's
But,
yeah,
but Chris, if you mention something like psychedelics or
mm,
anything like that, then that too is also being stored.
mm,
And because they have your whereabouts on their computer via your phone, via your RFID chip, they know exactly where you are and they'll
mm.
come round and they'll bust your ass. So beware, people. We are in George Orwell's 1984,
Yeah,
here and now.
yeah. Since I think we are longer in that, not just here now. We are long. It's just like Mark said it too to you. It's just getting more obvious. They are
Yeah.
don't give a fuck anymore to hide it anymore. That's it. It's yeah, but again, we like you and Mark said, we have to build now this community. I think really and use it and go to other sites and with Steemit, I created 2 days ago an account. It takes I think 3 or 4 days to get a link back and then.
I've done that about 5 days ago, and I still haven't heard from them. And so
Okay, yeah, I still
can be
don't.
even 7 days. And so,
No.
yes, I think that we should all be doing this, because what we've got now is we've got this facility via Zoom, which is absolutely amazing as far as I'm concerned. It's everything that we desire. And what I'm hoping to do is even to start doing conferences, say like with as many people, we'll announce 1 day a week at a particular time, which is kind of in the mean to the whole world. And so, you know, we'll try to make it as easy as possible for everybody to join. And then we'll talk about certain subjects.
Or we can make, or you make it like 1 week it's a European thing and 1 week more of an American thing. But in Europe, the time difference is not so big, you know. But just with America, I saw that with Sarah. I have to New York. I have a 6 hour difference. It's okay. It's manageable, no problem. But
Yes.
again, then. Of course, that's really gets difficult when we make that bigger. But we can do that too,
right.
worldwide. Let's say conference.
Yeah, and so then when you've recorded the video, you can send that recording via Sprend. Sprend. It's a very, very simple package to download. Takes about 10 seconds. And
you don't even have to download. I looked into it today. As long as the package is smaller than 2 gigabytes, you can send it via. Even you don't have to create an account on there. You can even
that's right. Yeah. So you don't have to create an account. You just send it anonymously or from your email, and so that's beautiful. And it's an hour video is gone in about 20 minutes, something like this. And so then you can send the videos to anybody to do what you want with them. So I've been sending a couple to Irit because she's going to be sending them to David Icke, because myself and Sam, we was talking about David Icke in the conversation we had last night. And I'm in David Icke's corner. And so she thought that would be an ideal conversation to send to him. And so when we have this facility to record free and store free and send free, the only thing we need now is we need a central base like Steemit or something where we can open it for the community. Because all these sites that we have currently, one person has to open them and put all their details in, and then you've got the password. And so either one person opens it, say I'll open it and give everybody the password so we can all upload to Steam.
That would be great. Or like Mark, I think mentioned like minds.org or DTube or something like that, you know. Try out these. I didn't try this out. Again, just Steemit. I tried out to create a profile, and I will get the link sooner or later from then. And I will, as I watched today your conversation with Mark, I will look into DTube and minds.org or minds.com. I don't remember right now. But I will look into these sites too and stuff. So it's great. And with Sam was great too. Great conversation. Of course, all the conversations are really getting better and better. At least, it's really great.
Absolutely. And I had another amazing conversation with Simon today. His nickname's Curious.
Yeah, no, I
It was
didn't.
an hour and 37 minutes, and it was absolutely beautiful conversation, just like all of our conversations.
Yeah.
There's something really going down
Hmm.
because we've got this vibration, this affinity, and it's a real positive thing. And we're really getting into a rhythm now. We've got a fantastic package which doesn't stress us out, and we've got best quality and everything. And because we're getting versed with each other, then there's no nerves anymore. There's no anxiety. We're a lot freer, aren't we, in our discussions, and it comes over more natural. And so, yeah, it's all going really, really well.
Yeah, and it's really, it's almost, I really am grateful for the opportunity, help the community. But I know, like, fuck it, I will be gone for 2 weeks, and I don't know when I come back to 2 weeks how many videos I have to watch. I really, I'm looking forward to it. It's really great. I really
Yes.
I see how it's growing. I really have a good feeling about it. Really,
Yeah,
it's
and
awesome.
the odd person keeps dropping in. We had a new member join, Daniel Riley, last night, and Daniel's been a long time member of the Awaken Brave. And what I want to do is I want to get a group of us, maybe half a dozen or more, arrange a time which is convenient for most people, like I say, to all come online and have a general chit chat and promote what we're doing here. And then what I want to do is I want to try to get that particular video posted on as many places as we can on YouTube and Google, so people can see that the Awaken Brave is still alive. It's an amazing community. And so all of the people that enjoyed the Awaken Brave videos and community before, then they're the ones that I'm appealing to come. I'm not so keen on people that have just fallen onto the Awaken Brave and don't know any of us, because I really think they do need to know, particularly me, what my history is, because if they come into the community and they don't really know what we're about, I think that might start upsetting the apple cart. If we've got people like we all know with the biases and the opinions and the programs and all this, that can't happen. I really have to steer them clear, and I'll make it very, very apparent in the community conversation.
Yeah, and if you want some introduction video or something, you can send that to me to Sprint, and I still have a YouTube account. And the funny thing is, like I told you, I downloaded our conversations, Skype conversations. We had 8, and I wanted to download the 6th one, and at exactly that moment they shut down your YouTube channel, so I could just download 5 and uploaded them to my channel. And I really got the first week a lot of clicks on these videos, because I still kept the title Awaken Brave, and then
Yeah.
a lot of people were searching for your channel, and they just found apparently just my videos, and clicked on them.
Yeah.
That's saw that. It's and let's call him. I call him now Voldemort. Don't give him a name. Don't give him energy. You know who I mean.
Yeah. Cool.
You know whom I mean,
Yeah,
Voldemort. Don't say his name.
yeah. No,
and,
fantastic.
and he commented again under that, and he's a stalker guy, Voldemort.
Yeah, and so then,
So,
whomever of us has YouTube channels that they're not using, or they don't mind putting up this promotional video, then they can do that. And I don't know exactly how you upload them to Google, but it seems to be simple, because many of my videos have been uploaded by other people, other supporters and stuff like that. And there's actual sites with loads of my videos on there, loads of photos from me and everything. It's like some sort of celebrity channel. And I'm like, who's doing this?
yeah, it's nowadays so easy. Like, again, I can like I did with your videos and other videos on YouTube. You can easily download them from YouTube and then again upload them on your channel. That's no problem.
Right, brilliant. So we can talk about that on another occasion, because I want to get a bit more savvy with all this stuff. And so, yeah, absolutely superb.
Yeah, it's and again, what I want to say, yeah, I'm not using Google for, let's say, 2 weeks. using Google anymore as a search engine. I commented that too under the video you had with Mark. Ecosia, it's really great search engine, and you're really you're helping planting trees even with that search engine.
Right, really and I replied to that comment, and I suggested that we could have a little bit of a chit chat about that, because I want to get away from Microsoft. I want to get away from Google because they're too manipulative. They're freaking spies, and I think what we should all be turning our minds to now is alternatives, support private alternatives to get away from these megalithic manipulators, and show them that we, the people, have the power.
The power, that's it.
And stop them in their tracks.
Yeah. When nobody would, of course, that's. But if nobody, let's say tomorrow, nobody would use YouTube or Google anymore as a search engine, would, let's say, switch to Ecosia or something else, like they would fall down. Google. Everyone says, Google is so big and fuck, and nobody can do anything against. No, fuck it, we have the power. No, you don't use Google anymore. Use Ecosia. Use other search engines. You can use that. You be the change you want to see in the world.
That's right. But people, if they're not familiar with it, then they kind of drag their heels about it. And so people, you see, it has to be promoted, and all this sort of thing. And so these will catch on, and they'll catch on very, very fast these days, because all these alternative media platforms, you can look on them and you can see lots and lots of big names. All the big boys on YouTube, they're all hedging their bets, and they're all going into these other places. Now, one very, very prime indication that the people have exercised their power without really knowing it and thinking about it in the collective consciousness is the state of the large media companies, CNN, BBC, and Fox, and all these sort of things. When you've got people like David Icke and Alex Jones, they piss all over the ratings of those previously megalithic companies. And so what we've done then, we've decided, no, we don't want to listen to your bullshit. We want to listen to alternative, independent media. And so we've done that. And what have we done? We brought the downfall of the megalithic media companies owned by the big men up on the top of the pyramid, and we've shown them. But you see, what they're doing now is, Chris, they're going to be buying out YouTube, which is a private company, because they can see where the power is. So they want to get the power back then. So what we've got to do is we've got to go bye-bye YouTube and go to alternative. It's going to be a cat and mouse chase.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
And they can buy up YouTube, and anybody that's sensible, that knows what they're doing, will go, fuck you, YouTube, we're going somewhere else. And we'll just keep moving platforms. And them assholes will be chasing us all the time, because they'll be panicking like fuck, won't they?
Yeah, and sooner or later, they fucking big boys, let's call them, run out of money if they buy everything, That's it. We as long as we don't consent, let's say it this way, they don't have power. Again, we have the power. What we using, when you use Google, that's why I stopped using Google 2 weeks ago, because I saw in myself that, okay, it's the biggest search engine, and I use it, and even I was like, I don't want to switch to Ecosia. I know it's better site, and you help planting trees, and but Google, you're human. We are habitual. We're really having our habits. But say, fuck it, switch to Ecosia. And as I switched to Ecosia, it's fucking great search engine. I find my sites too through that, and it's great site. And I know I'm helping planting trees.
Yeah, brilliant. So I'm going to check it out and see how that goes, because I'm definitely not happy with what I'm using now. And I've lost my mojo, man. I was going to continue on something. Yes, what I was saying is that what's happening now with the community is that people are putting something in you see, before on YouTube, it was all everybody was taking. And now we've come together and everyone's putting something in. Irit and Rachel were responsible for Zoom.
Yeah.
And so Guy is responsible for bringing this site to us. And Irit is the procurer of people with larger platforms than myself. And so you now have pointed in the direction of a new server, web browser.
Search engine, yeah.
Yeah, and then other members are asking me if I need help technically, and I'm speaking with Simon about that. And so this is the thing, you see, this is what's going to work. Mark, he introduced me to Minds and, other people. And so this is exactly the intention that I'm really desirous to achieve, is to get this hub with all these spokes all over the world. And so we become an actual mind of information ourselves.
Yeah, a think tank in a way.
Yeah, a think tank. And every time there's something new and something debatable, something questionable, a false flag and this, that and the other, we can all come on a conference and we can all, chew the cud over it, and we can, get some clarity on what's going on. So it's very exciting times. I think this is a beautiful, exciting time, Chris, because what's happened is we're now getting towards the crest of, if we don't do something now, like Stefan Molyneux, he said, people, please, you have to support the independent media. If you do not do this, there won't be any anymore. Is that what you want? He really gets serious about it.
Yeah. Like, you have to do upset the normal people's apple cart. It's a way. That's why I'm subscribed to We Are Change for years now. I know it's all bullshit, but it's alternative news I still watch, like We Are Change, I still watch that because I want to get a little bit updated, and about that. And again, like other search engines and other stuff, I like to, what I can do, I will do, again, with the community helping out. I don't get money for that. I don't give a fuck about money. I know I'm helping really great people who try to get off grid, to grow their own organic stuff, and really don't give a fuck in a way about all the matrix bullshit, and try to build great communities in real life. That's and we are now digital building great communities, and I love to do that. I really love to helping people out to do that, because that's why I really like especially Skype conversations we had with Max Egan, Doug Michael, with everyone, with Sam, with today I watched with Mark and everyone. You really feel that in a way. And I talked with Paul about that too, and a little bit with Jonas. We have to do that. We are the people. How the new ages say it. We are the people. We are the ones we are waiting for. In a way, we are the ones we're waiting for all the time. We
are the ones we're waiting for. That's right. We're waiting for ourselves to wake up and catch up with ourselves and all this sort of thing. And so, yes, there's definitely going to be a lot of changes, and they're going to come around very, very fast in these next few years. And so as long as we are within the community and we're all doing our individual bit, we're doing our research and communicating, then hopefully we will be up there with the first to know about anything as far as the public's concerned, And so it's a good position to be in, because ignorance is a very, very bad position to be in. And so hopefully we won't be that. And then we can try to keep one step ahead, like what we're doing now. And so if you look at it, what's actually happened is something beautiful, because we started making this site, say like 2 months before my other site was taken down. Now that's pure providence. Pure providence.
I don't believe in coincidences.
Yeah. That's right.
I don't believe in that.
So I said providence. Now, providence, in biblical terms, is God is providing something for you and guiding you, and so. Let's just say then the higher self and the zeitgeist of the particular time Now, what does zeitgeist exactly mean? The feeling of the community and
it's yeah, I know it's a German word. It's wordly just a time spirit or time goes really, but in a way it's the how the consciousness of the people are, the collective consciousness, not the not the subconscious, the collective consciousness of the people are right now in moment. That's the zeitgeist of the moment. Yes. How everyone thinks in that moment, you know, the let's call it like the morphic resonant, the morphogenetic field. How it is right now, that's the zeitgeist, you know, and that's changeable. Of course, the zeitgeist
of course it's going to be changing on
all the time
basis. That's right. And so then I think it's going to be an appropriate terminology, appropriate term to bound around these days, because it is the zeitgeist, which is the spirit of the nation. And it's the zeitgeist that's going to be bringing new things into play. And it's the zeitgeist that's going to be standing up for the rights of the people. And so I'm really looking forward to people starting to realize that they are a part of this. Wake up, people. You are conscious. You are a part of this consciousness here and now and what is happening in this crazy dream that we've got going on. So, you know, pick up your pitchfork and play a part in it.
Yeah. And like talk with Mark, I think, it was Mark about it. It's not, it doesn't do anything to make science and go on to testing. That never changed anything. If you look, the only thing we can do is right here, right now, really doing what we believe in the zeitgeist, the collective consciousness, what we are right now, and we change. Like again with alternative media, and don't use Google anymore, and switching to other sites. And put your money in stuff you really know it's helping, you know, buying organic stuff and not the bullshit anymore and all that stuff. You know, I don't have a lot of money, you know that. I'm on benefits, but I say fuck it. Still stuff like this year, you know.
Oh yeah.
As cheap as you think, but I say that's helping at least me, my consciousness, and there I put my money in, and I put my money into or visiting Irit and Patrick, and I want to visit Paul and Jonas and everyone, you know, who's up for it, you know. And
well, I mean, if you get if you're going to London, I can very, very quickly be there as well. And so
I talked with Paul today a little bit. I want to visit Jonas and Paul in London sooner or later. First in South France, but after that I want to visit Paul and Jonas in London, so maybe you can come too, Suzette. And
but I mean, Paul, he's pretty well way up north. He's about I don't know, 120 miles north of London. But you know, where there's a will, there's a way, and so yes, to I mean, ideally, it's not great to meet up in the city. Ideally, we want to meet up on an Amanita muscaria rampage. You know, something like that in nature, because this is what we're about. Because can you imagine us, you know, spiritually awakened and enlightened beings, you know, meeting up in the heart of freaking London?
I don't give a fuck, you know. It's what kind of vibration thing, you know, and then you're changing it. I don't give a fuck, or wherever it is, you know, we are the ones who changing it.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, there's lots of places. There's Hyde Park, and you know, lots of nature reserves around London. Your internet is quite poor, but it's not making that much of a difference. But we're losing the odd word here and there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not the best here with my father's internet. It's not the best internet.
Yeah, but otherwise, the recordings have been absolutely perfect with everybody else.
And on Skype, much better. But Skype is still good for messaging, you know, seeing if people are online and stuff, you know. They're still good for, not for a video conference, but still for messages, sending messages, or even fucking Facebook, you know. I know it's the cancer of the world almost. Facebook. I still like the group we have there.
Yes. Yeah.
Can
I
still
mean,
use Facebook Messenger and stuff, you know.
yeah, Facebook. I've never ever done it. I have an aversity to it, and so I don't want to go on there and do that. And so what I did is I deleted all of this Skype accounts, and I deleted Ava to help me more seriously completely depend on Zoom. But I've reinstated Skype and I've lost all my contacts. And so the reason why I reinstated it is because it's the simplest way, like you say, to message. So progressively again, I'll build up the contacts, but it served the purpose because it's got rid of all the ones that I never had a relationship with, who you can't get rid of. You can't delete any of the contacts. They're there forever.
Yeah, you can, but it's not easy. You really have to. I had to search for it too. I had 1 or 2 contacts I have to wanted to delete, and I had to really search these contacts. It's not it's easy.
Yeah, so nothing's made.
You have to delete contacts, and you have to delete the conversation you had with them. As long as you didn't delete the conversations you had with them, they are still staying in your list there.
Right.
That's what I didn't saw.
Brilliant. And so what other conversation have you got there in mind?
Just wanted again, most of it we talked about. I really wanted to promote a little bit Ecosia, and the conversations on Skype. It's getting better and better. Really, it's really really love, especially the one with the last one you had with Doug. That was
Doug,
really eye-opening for me, because I'm exactly what you about, like helping the local community, and what I'm doing the next 2 weeks. You know, that's exactly what I'm doing, and yeah, that's it. It's really I only have good feelings about this community. It's I see it really growing and expanding, and really in a good way, you know. Not, of course, we have these hiccups. It's normal. We know we started it, like you said, 2 months ago or something, really, with your new website and YouTube, the YouTube fuck up. But again, like even like Sarah mentioned to you, they even deleted on YouTube, you know, fucking knitting channels. You know,
yes.
It's not.
Yeah. And so all this stuff is, you see, what my policy is like I've been saying in recent conversations, is that I just transmute the energy. Whatever negative energy comes my way, I absorb it all and I transmute it. And so what happens is then I use that energy, because energy is energy. It's just how you're going to receive it, really, isn't it, at the end of the day? Because if somebody comes to you, I'm going to kill you, and then you just stand calm and you placate this person because you're not fear-based. So you're repelling his energy. You're giving energy back to him. Only you're giving the calm, placating variety of energy, which in many cases is even more powerful than the blustering negative energy.
It is. You make a great point there, because you're not fear-based in that way. Patrick said it great too, with his experience, and I had the same experience as he had with dogs. You know, some people, like big dogs, come and they are afraid, and the dogs feel that, they smell that when you're afraid. I never had that. I always, like Patrick too, I looked straight in the dog's eye, and I didn't exude any kind of fear, and then they're like the calmest animals at all, because they're feeling you don't are afraid of them, and then they don't are angry at you or attack you in a way, because they know you're not afraid of them. And that's the same thing with people, you know, with like, let's call them these negative or whatever people. They're like, again, like you said, you mentioned, like, oh yeah, fuck you, I will kill you, or what the fuck. But when you don't, they're expecting you to get angry at them.
When you don't respond, when you don't mirror what they are projecting, it kind of like, it makes them feel foolish. Because you see, this is the whole Gandhi approach, wasn't it? Him and his people, they would just keep walking towards the soldiers, and the soldiers would start beating them on their faces and splitting their heads. And as long as they didn't get knocked out, then they would keep walking until in the end what happens is these people, they're going to feel so sick with themselves
Mm.
for beating a defenseless person, a person who's so humble, who's prepared to die at your hand. What are you going to do, man? You know, I think.
Again, great example you had with I think it with Mark or with with Sam with the Buddhist monk who go to the other guy. Yeah, you know, I can stab you, and I blink an eyelid, and the monk says, yeah, you can stab me, and I don't blink an eyelid. You know, fuck it, and that's it. That's of course, I'm not mentioning that you shouldn't give a fuck your life. It's just that you are fearless in that state in a way. You are just give a fuck. You know you're more than just this body. You know you're connected with everything, and what you do unto others, you do to. And that's not just a saying. It's not just. It's the golden rule is not what I live by. Treat others the way you want to treat. Be treated, you know. That's it, really, like it, because you're connected with everything, because you are everything.
Absolutely. And
that's it.
It takes a real deep knowing to get there. A long time of self-study and all this sort of thing. But when you are there, or when you're close to that, then you absolutely take away the power of anybody who is trying to instill fear within you. And so it's a marvelous, disempowering thing for them. Empowering for you, disempowering for them, because you just say, just like Jesus, you know, whatever you want to do. You know,
and even forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. I say not. You know what I mean with that.
Yeah.
It's that's it. It's you know you know it, and when you know it, it's you don't give a fuck because you really can forgive them because they don't know what they're doing in that moment. You know, they really run on their programs, and they don't. They're so fear, and that's our society today. They're so fear-based thinking. They're so fear-based thinking that's why they don't want to change anything. That's why they're projecting everything onto these bad or these what the fuck. You know, it's not them. It's your own fucking fear you project onto other people, and that's why you don't want to acknowledge. Carl Jung, my favorite psychoanalyst, acknowledge your own shadow, and when you acknowledge that, you have a bad side. I have a side too, but everyone has that. And when you acknowledge your shadow side, it can't hurt you anymore because you integrated it. It's a part of you, and then you can manage it. Like even Peterson said it great, I believe. Peterson was it like
Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson said it great that. Don't be like the new ages, like ages, like all peace and love. No, be a fucking monster. But learn control that. You know, learn how to control your anger and your fear. Then you really are. Or the other saying is like, don't be a warrior in a garden, but don't be a gardener in a war. You know that way. You know
that's
you really,
right.
Yeah, that's it. Be a warrior in a garden.
So did you watch him with Joe Rogan then? Because
I like that video. The meek will his interpretation of the meek will inherit the earth with Joe Rogan, and he said that too in that instance. That be a monster and don't, but learn to control it. Acknowledge your shadow side, and don't.
So this evening I'm going to be listening to Jordan Peterson with Duncan Trussell.
Okay, that's interesting.
And so Duncan Trussell being Rogan's sidekick, and whenever they come together, they've got such a rapport. It's absolutely amazing. But do you listen to Duncan Trussell much?
A little bit. Paul sent me some videos from Duncan Trussell.
Yeah, so he's been doing his own podcast for years, and of course he's a stand-up comedian, the same as Rogan, and he's very articulate, and I think he's more funny than Rogan. You know, he really is great, and so I'm really looking forward to the Jordan Peterson one with him to see if there's another angle which. Or another facet which he can bring out of Peterson. because I mean, Peterson, he's interviewed so prolifically these days that I think there's going to come a time when we've heard it all. You know, if you watch lots of his lectures, then what you see is in an interview is basically excerpts from his lectures, because he's already said it 1,000 times.
Now you remember me. 2 days ago, I watched a video about Jordan Peterson, and sometimes he gets asked so stupid questions, and even he can suppress his facial expression. His eyes like really are asking me that bullshit, you know, really, like it's so obvious and it's so funny to me, because I really like his videos about honesty. I can't agree with him more about honesty. When you're totally lie, always, and I post that too on the Awaken Brave Facebook site days
Yes,
ago.
yeah, I saw that, and I actually watched that video a
with
couple
Jim
of times.
Carrey. Yeah, with Jim Carrey. That it's you can't hold up an image onto the world. That's why you are depressed. Most people are depressed because they're trying to hold up an image in the world. They're not really themselves. They're just trying to hold up that fucking fake image. And the best example for that is fucking Instagram for me. You know, yeah, this is my new car, selfie, bullshit. You know, that's you're fucking holding up a fake fucking image of yourself, and that's why you're not really happy, because you're constantly trying to hold up this fucking fake image of yourself. Just be yourself. Fuck, why it's so hard, you know?
Yeah, just release all the bullshit and just finally have some confidence in whatever facets that you have as a human being. You know, look for whatever's positive within yourself. You see, I was saying to one of the members last night, I don't know if it was Mark or whether it was Sam, that the humanity has a neurosis, and the neurosis is its own insecurity.
To Mark, you said that.
Right, yeah. And so it's like, if we are incessantly insecure, then we're always going to be afraid, and we're always going to be malleable and manipulated, and we're always going to be on the defense. We're never going to be able to blossom as human beings, because we're always going to be inhibited. And so look at what it does. It absolutely destroys that which we are in so many facets. Yeah. And so if we can just relax a little bit, and if we can just stop measuring everybody and everything and just accept individualism. You see, this is the whole thing with the postmodernism business, which Jordan Peterson has been battling with. Yeah. They don't want individualism, and this is why it's a real problem, because if you listen to students these days at universities and things all over the Western world, then they're saying, oh yeah, we shouldn't be doing this, or we shouldn't be doing that, everyone's equal, and everyone's this and everyone's that. No, where did you get everyone's equal from? You know, if you've got a 4-foot person, you know, little chubby legs, well, where are they equal to the 6-foot person which can run a 4-minute mile? You know, then where are they equal in the high jump? Where are they equal in the javelin? Where are they equal in any sports?
Yeah, I think
Skittles.
Yeah, I think
I talked to Skittle.
Yeah, I think I talked with you about that in our third or fourth conversation. We shouldn't be so fucking PC, you know, politically correct, you know, fuck that. Really, we have to embrace our differences.
Yeah, we are not equal.
Yeah, we have to embrace our differences. We have to embrace that people have a skin color, embrace different cultures. Like I love Japanese culture and other cultures. I love to study that and look into the differences. But when you deeply look into that, what I did too in my beginning, like looked into every kind of religion I could find. But when you really do that and really do your research good, you sooner or later see there's no real difference. You know, it's just culturally, it's the same thing. Like in religion, John Campbell says it great too. When you look into that, study that long enough, you see every kind of religion says the same stuff. It's just culturally different, explained, interpret, different.
Whether you've got a Jesus, or whether you've got a Buddha, or whether you've got a Shiva, or all this sort of thing. It basically the the fundamental standpoint of it is being a good human being at the end of the day, and the 10 Commandments of some sort, which come into play. Mark Passio, he does his series on the natural law of the universe, and so it's natural law that we want to be looking at, not whatever dogma is written in any text in any religion. It's the natural law, and we all know. You see, same as you, I looked right across the board at those religions, and particularly in America, when you got these fanatical Christians, and then they're kind of like, who's going to tell us what we should and shouldn't be doing? If there's not a God. Hang on. God doesn't tell you. He does via Jesus and in the book. No, that was written by men. Lots of men. If you read the history, then you'll see it's all compiled, and it's very mysterious how they came to that compilation. So can't you just see that it's not really God, it's man? And, man has invented all these rules, thou shalt not kill and things like that. You see, what happened is, let's just look at this hypothetical scenario. If it actually happened, which it didn't, incidentally, that Moses brought the Jews out of Egypt, and they spent 40 years in the wilderness. Well, one day he went up to the mountain, called by God, and he came back down with his 2 plates of 10 Commandments. Well, you see, when you look at it, if you've got thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people traipsing around the desert, squabbling over a few crumbs of food and a few thimblefuls of water and clothing and all the stuff, the amenities that we need to survive. Whoever survives in the end, they're going to have learned something about humanity. And if they're going to want to continue to survive, then it's kind of like, we shouldn't kill each other. We shouldn't be coverting our neighbour's ox. We shouldn't be laying down with our neighbour's wives. And these are the things that are going to get you killed, right? So you shouldn't do them. It's simple, isn't it?
And I think really you made a great point there. I don't know in which direction I should take that. You said, why would you do that? Look at it rationally. Why would you walk with people 40 years through the desert? Why would you do that? You only do that to keep them away from knowledge. After 40 years, you had a whole new generation who never studied anything. And then you can tell them everything you want to do, and they would believe. That's why you walk with them 40 years through a desert. That's no other logical reason for that. And another thing in that is a great thing you mentioned, I think, with Sam was you and me. We know that with the heart is like the magnetic field is 5,000 times stronger than the brain, and even like that too. Like in your intestines, there are much more nervous, much more bigger neurons and nervous system than in your brain.
Yeah.
So that with the threefold, these 3 points you have, let's say, but our new societies totally in their head. They're stuck in their head. They don't listen to their heart. They don't listen to their stomach. It's so obvious because they're eating all bullshit. So they're poisoning the lower chakra, let's call it that way, because in Qigong you don't have 7 chakras. You only have 3. Your hara, your heart, and your brain. You just have the 3 points, not 7. Yeah. And that's it. Your heart is so much stronger than your brain, and your intestine is so much stronger. It's not for any reason that you say, I have a gut feeling about that,
Yeah, or go with your heart. So let's have a look at that.
That's it. Listen more to that. Don't listen. Of course, that's a good servant, but not a good master. That's it.
Yeah. So this is a nice subject to look into with some depth, because this threesome that we've got the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And whenever you see Jesus, he's always doing his hand like this. When he's in the statue or painting or something, he's always got the 3. And so if you look then, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, what's the Father? The Father, I would say the Father is the unconscious. The Son is the consciousness. And the Holy Ghost is the Spirit derives out of the heart. And so 3 facets like that. If you look at the body, the anatomy, and you've got this 3 business going on, you can say, okay, well, what have we got there? You see, we're told that all the brain, all the neurons and all this business going on, that's where all the intelligence comes from. Absolute bullshit. Your intelligence comes from the whole of your body. Your brain maybe just helps you interpret it. But what intelligence is it that's keeping your heart beating and your lungs rising and falling when you're asleep and keeping all the cellular activity, killing the antibodies and all the rest of it? What intelligence is doing that? Who's telling that to do that?
Great that you mentioned that, because the best examples for that is then study Wim Hof or study John Rose. You know, they're talking about that too. It's like that. Every cell in your body is a form of intelligence, a much, much higher form of intelligence than your brain ever can reach. You know, it's just, like you said too, it's just the mechanism to interpret these things, you know?
Yeah.
Not really again, like Alan Watts says, it's so great. I think it's a Buddhist saying that your mind is a good servant, but a bad master.
Yes.
You can use it. And of course, it's great to use it, but don't let your mind tell you what to do. Listen to your heart, listen to your gut more than to your mind. Really.
And that's exactly what you should do. You said you should use it. Okay, I should use it. We use it, we deploy it to serve us, because the us, the I, isn't that. So we use the brain to help us to navigate around this matrix, because that's what it's for.
Yeah.
And if we really want to know knowledge, then what do? We feel it. And where do we feel it from? Well, we feel it within all the neurons within our stomachs. We feel it from the electromagnetism and the intelligence of our hearts. And then the brain helps us express this, articulate it into the matrix. But you see, this feeling in the abdomen, in the intestine and the heart, this isn't a matrixial thing. This is a human anatomy thing. And this is the stuff that is telling you how this body should be carried around. It should be used, because if this starts to tell the body stuff that it's not good for it, the body's going to tell it, oi. And if there's a breakdown in communication, then this is where we get ill. And this is the thing I mentioned the other day. And it's this heart math. With Greg Braden, because Greg Braden says, well, you know, it's the whole threesome again. It's the heart, it's the brain, and it's the higher consciousness. We have to have all of these working in unison, not striving for autonomy over one another, knowing that they are part and parcel of the same thing. And so therefore you have to get this harmony going down. And so this is the thing, isn't it, really? And we're slowly starting to get there. We know that we are what we eat. We know what we think we produce. And so we're finally getting a little bit intelligent. Maybe we are regaining information. I think we are, of what we had thousands of years ago, Chris. We knew all this information thousands of years ago, but we've really, really had it squeezed out of us in this last 100 years, for sure. Yeah.
And that's why, great that you mentioned that too, because that's what I think. With Sam, you talked about that. That's why they burned down the Library of Alexandria and all that stuff, you know, because we knew that years, 1,000 or whatever, how long, I don't really believe in history, but however years it was ago, but we knew that. We all knew that, and we wrote it down in these bigger libraries. But of course, then you can't... John Rose makes a great example. These people at the top, they're sick, and they can only control you as long as they keep you sick, you know. And when you're not sick, when you are aware what you eat, what you consume, you're not sick anymore, and then they can't manipulate you anymore because you're not sick.
You know? When your consciousness raises, when your awareness raises, then the world becomes so crystal clear, and their bullshit becomes so crystal clear. Now, I would have thought one of the things that humanity would have gotten round to is in 1879, was it? The French stormed the Bastille in their revolution. Now, we want this level of revolution, only we need to be storming the Vatican. And what we want to be doing is we want the key to the vault. And we want to have all of those 2 million documents and scripts written down there. We want to set our scholars on interpreting them, and we want that knowledge back. Thank you very much, you motherfuckers. Burying it. You see, when they say they burnt the libraries, the Alexandria, which is the biggest one in the world, reputed at the time, I don't think for a minute this stuff was lost, Chris. I think it was all taken. And then the building itself was burnt with whatever recent stuff was of no consequence. But they wouldn't do that. They would keep all this shit. That like they keep all the precious arts and all the minerals and the artifacts and all this. They keep it all under lock and key. And when skeletons of all different sorts of sizes and skulls and everything have been found, invariably they've gone missing too. And so where have they all gone? We know where they've gone. Places like the Vatican Vault. And so this is what we want. Eventually, if we can ever get our heads around it collectively, we want to know what the fuck our history was.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Again, that's great. I always love that, and I told that Jonas too. I have that with almost every one of you I Skype. I have these feelings right now too. In these conversations, we made a circle now. We came back to the beginning, because now we have the power. We can demand that from the Vatican, as an example now, that they open these fucking walls, that we can demand that. We are the people, and maybe it's a cliche for me as a German to say that, because we said that as we broke down the fucking wall in Berlin, we are the people, we are the fucking people, and we can demand to break down these fucking walls, we can demand when we pulling all at one string, we can change the whole fucking world, but we have to pull at the same string. That's it. That's why they try everything they can do. Now the word doesn't to disconnect us, to not to that we fight against each other all the time. That we don't connect, because they know when we would connect. We would change the world. We would do that because we know that, and I think that's the biggest. And Mark said that to you too. I think that's the best way. We have now the opportunity. All the generations before us didn't have the internet to connect really with each other, to connect people all around the world, and that's why what I love the most about this community, that we really connect all around the world, and that's really what we should do, in my opinion, that we would connect and really pull at one string all together, and then we could change that shit. We have the opportunity, but we have to stand fucking up,
That's right, we've got to stand up. Now, what springs to mind is that Monsieur Guillotine, who invented the guillotine, his head ended up being cut off by the machine he invented. In some quirky, fucked up fate. And that's a true story. Now, what I perceive is happening now is that with the leaders' avarice, with their overextending of their ego and really getting too comfortable with the power that they've got. We've got 90% of it now. We only need the last 10%, and then the world belongs to us. And so they're letting their guards down a little bit. They're getting blasé, and they're getting very, very cocky because they think it's all wrapped up and in the bag. But what they've done is, you see, via the proliferation of the internet, they think, right, what we need to do is we need to get everybody standardized, and we're going to do this by promulgating all this information, and we're going to get them all on the phone and all this and all that. Okay, it's almost going perfect to plan. But one thing that they never brought into the equation is that the human being can never, ever be predicted 100%. And there's always going to be a faction in there which is going to be a spanner in the works. And so what they've done is they've allowed the ones that can think still, the ones that haven't drank too much fluoride and been on too many medications and all this, we can put stuff together. We can join little groups. We can spread our spokes across the world, and we can cause a revolution, and we can bring the fuckers down by the tool that they wanted to use to imprison us.
Yeah. To make a quote out of a movie, life always finds a way, always. And that's it. They think they can control life. They think they can control nature and stuff with its chemtrails and all that bullshit. But life always finds a way, and that's why I'm so confident. I'm not fear-based anymore. You know, I know deep in myself. Maybe my mind would say, "Oh, maybe they do that," but my heart says something different. I don't listen to that. You know, I listen to my heart. You know?
This is how I'm feeling increasingly more and more these days. In the face of all adversity, I'm getting stronger and I'm feeling freer. And so there is a prevailing spirit that is helping us. And I said in the video the other day, didn't I? I said that I'm getting paid in bliss. I'm getting paid for what I do. And the universe is paying me in bliss, because what I'm doing is absolutely right for this time now. What we're all doing is absolutely right, and so this is why that your disposition is very light and heartfelt, and all the other people, they're coming together with this excitement that is being pervasive now. It's becoming intoxicating, and the more people that start to see it, Chris, and this is why I want to promote us in our sessions like this as widely as we can, because all the naysayers and all the people that thought I was a kook and all the rest of it, when they start to see what is happening in this community, then they'll all be running like mice to cheese, let's say. We're going to have a cheese party and all the mice are going to come running. Well, no, we don't want the mice, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
We you see, they won't, the ones that don't understand us, Chris, they won't be coming, because they can't hear our call. Only the ones that hear our call, that feel our vibration, only D strings are going to be attracted to the D strings that we're going on here. And so it's going to be really interesting times to see what manifests with this movement that we've got going on now very, very rapidly. All of a sudden you hear of Minds, and you hear of D-Wave, and you hear of Steemit. What's that? And then all of a sudden, like, it's all so new and everybody's getting involved in it, and it's all a frenzy, and it's like rats jumping from a ship, isn't it? They know the ship's going down, and all the rats, swimming to grab hold of some branch or bit of fucking flotsam or whatever debris from the ship. And so it's like that, and it's feeling good. And there's I think, you see, what I've seen is over this past year in particular, Paul and I, we got into a state whereby it's kind of like you go round and round and round, and everyone's talking about, oh, this is negative, that's negative, they're doing this and they're doing that, but nobody was coming up with any answers. In this last year, people are starting to come up with answers. Yeah. They're starting to say what we should do, and I started to do it instinctively at exactly the same time. So it's a zeitgeist, it's a morphic resonance, it's consciousness fighting back.
Yeah, it's and I don't believe in coincidences. I really don't, and I know that's why I have this feeling. I can't put it into words, but I know. Of course, shit will hit the fan for people. They don't research stuff, and so it will not be easy, let's say. But we are the ones, I think, we can help them. We can help them to, because we research so much, because we put years into that we know that it will be good as long as we keep it. We bond together. We don't. They want to let us fight. They want to let us fight against each other. They always did that with these fucking series and false flags and whatever kind of stuff they did. And they always did that way. But again, we now have the opportunity to say, fuck you. To really say, no, we're not consenting with that anymore. We are doing our own shit now. We have the opportunity. I really feel that. And we should use that. Because like you said, I think with Mark or Sam, I don't know really where it was, but we are almost at the tipping point right now. And when we don't do something right now, it only can go, with Mark. It's only
going to go one way. That's their way.
Yeah, and then and I know that to be true. If we don't do that, our children or the children of our children will ask us, why didn't you do anything? Why didn't you do anything?
That's right.
Then you had the opportunity. Now we are in the fucking box, like you said with Mark.
Yeah.
We are maybe in a prison planet, but our children or the children of our children will be in the fucking box and they can do anything. We have the opportunity.
So that's the collective guilt that we all have to feel, really, because via our complacency and via our neglect, we are going to be building, we're doing it already, we're building the incarceration centers for our children and their minds. And so if we don't want to do it for ourselves because we're too damn lazy, then for God's sake, do it for your children.
Yeah.
Do it for your children, people. And so let's just have a look briefly then before we wrap this one up at what we individually think that is going to be coming about in the not too distant future. The way I see it is this. Google is being bought out. No, sorry, YouTube is being bought out. We know who's buying it, and we know for what purpose they're buying it. And they are absolutely entirely intent on keeping hold of their power, and it's starting to look desperate now. It looks desperate to me when the powers that be are buying up this private media company because it's become so awesome, because the people have made it awesome, because all of a sudden, wow, everybody's getting involved with content. The level of communication, the promulgation, the propagation of information, everybody has become a town crier, haven't they, really? Everybody's got something to say, and it's brilliant. Albeit that there's not that many people proportionately doing the work that needs to be done to save the planet. But they're in the similar sort of ballpark. They all have the technology, they all have ears, they're all tuned into it, so we can reach them. And so basically what it's about is it's just about tweaking their vibration a little bit. And we don't have to worry about tweaking that, because who's going to do it is they're going to do it for us. Because what's going to happen is, you see, we're building all these platforms and we're setting up our shop. We're basically setting up our shop. And the powers that be are bringing more and more pressure down to bear, and they are making the general man in the street more and more anxious with the suppression, and they're hearing about, everybody's hearing about how they're being watched by the computer, listened to by the fridge, listened to by the mobile phone. And so we're all starting to talk, we're all starting to go, what the fuck's going on? And then when certain people start to go missing and get arrested and get shut down, I think what's going to happen next is that people like Alex Jones will be closed down instantly as soon as Google's bought out. David Icke will be squeezed out. All these people, they will try, because now, you see, they're not doing it now, like I said in the video about with Mark. They're waiting till they've got the acquisition of the most powerful media platform in the world. Then they'll feel like invincible and they can do what the fuck they want. But you see, by doing that then is going to rile even the most asleep person, because they're going to be prepared to listen now to what the fuck's going on. And so I think we're going to be in tumultuous times. I think we're definitely going to be having marches on the street and riots and all this sort of thing. We're going to be having our own people smashing us over the heads with truncheons and tear gas and all this sort of thing. But it's not going to last for long, because just like the Gandhi thing, they're going to go, what the fuck am I doing? This is my people. My son's out there somewhere. My daughter, my husband are out there somewhere. Who the fuck are these people telling me to shoot rubber bullets and CS gas into my people? What are they going to do for me? You know, at the end of the day, if they get the realization that as soon as they've dealt with all the people and they're all in FEMA camps and they're all being killed or whatever, then they don't need them anymore.
And a great example for that was last year or 2016 with Standing Rock. I don't know if you listened or heard about that, with the gas pipelines through America, when all the Indians to that Indian reservoir, and people really standing up for that. And I really loved that, that it really showed me that we can change, we can do something. You don't have to even the small thing, I talked a lot with Jonas about that. The smallest thing can create chain reactions, you know, just picking up trash in the forest, helping an old lady to the street, you know, something like that. These small things, like you talk with Doc about, that's why I loved it so much. Helping your local community, helping where you can help, when you see you can help. Help, man, help, fucking help. Just these small fucking things, just picking up fucking trash from the forest. And then you are the change you want to see in the world.
Exactly.
That's it. And I can't say it better than that. It's really, start with small things. Look what you're eating, look what you're consuming, look where you can help locally. And if you do that, you know, you feel good. You know that when you do that.
I was just going to make this point because I do things like whenever I'm walking around these national parks with Paul, I would always be picking up the rubbish and the odd bottle here and there. I couldn't bear to see it.
Yeah.
It made me feel, no, this is wrong. It's wrong. I felt so passionate about it.
Yeah.
It's this tiniest little bad energy in this beautiful energy. No. And so when I'm down on the beach, I will pick up this bit of plastic or that bit of debris, this, that, and the other, and I'll put it in the bin, you know, because that whole beach down there is my beach. You know?
Yeah, and that's it. And I really see that more and more. I don't know if the camera shows that. I created that in the forest I walk every day. I just created these little Zen stone towers, you know, like just for myself. You know, I know I walk there every day, and just for myself, I make my own altar in the forest with these Zen stones. But sooner or later, after that, people here around brought their own stones and created their own towers there, and even small childs wrote on stones, "This is the path of the stones," and really it's a big altar almost, like. And it started with me with one or two fucking stone towers, you know.
So that's the perfect scenario for planting seeds. And there's something about the vibration when you do things like that, that it attracts similar vibration. And then you can see that there is still hope for humanity because they're not entirely dead. And it's a remarkable thing. I once made a video down on this beach here of this guy that was standing stones on top of each other.
Yeah.
Do you remember that video?
Yeah. But exactly that's what I did. These stones topic. I love that.
Right. Again, and this particular, it's an art. It absolutely is an art, and I'm going to explain why it's an art, because they get the stones and they're kind of like, you know, this here, and then they're going to get another stone, and they're going to be balancing it somehow on there, and it's all about the central point of the weight.
Yeah.
So it can look like it's going to fall down. It can look like it's completely out of balance. But the person that's arranged it has found the exact center point of the weight and balancing it there. And then they'll get another one over here, and it will look really, really peculiar. But the thing is about it is, Chris, and this is the amazing thing about it, every single person that walked by that beach stopped and was mesmerized by it. I was mesmerized by it, and I filmed people mesmerized about it because there's something uncanny about it. There's something that it demands attention, and this is the beauty of art.
Now I have to, maybe the camera picks it up, but we have to wrap it up. I think we talked for 2 hours, but that's what maybe the camera shows that.
2 hours already, my God.
Because I had to make a picture from that as I did that. Maybe you can see that. You know, it really started with me with one or two towers, and I don't know if the camera sees that. You know, it's all maybe no, it's not too, but it's all
very, very yes.
It's all towers. You know, all other people built that.
Wow, loads of them, man.
Yeah. I just built 2 of them. You know, and other people really a chain reaction. That's why that proved to me really. Help your local community with small things, you know, picking up trash, doing small things, and then you are the change you want to see in the world. And it can happen that it really creates a chain reaction. And again, like that, it creates chain reactions sometimes, and that's really what I love, man.
About that, it's not just stones, is it? There's something really, really deep in the unconscious that's going on there, and I would think that even the vast majority of people that are doing it don't comprehend what they're doing, but there's a prevailing force there of community, of spirituality, of doing something which is meaningful. It's just arranging stones, but every single one of those people that arrange those stones, they set out on a purpose to find stones. They look at them, they hold them, they shake them around to feel as if they're suitable. They assess them, they carry them all the way back, and then they're going to be arranging. They're going to be taking the time to create something in that arena of creation. And so there's something deep that's going on there, and it's a beautiful thing. And so when the time is right, then we're going to be applying that same magic to things of greater importance for the saving of humanity.
Yeah, that's it. Really start with small things, and that can happen a big impact. Butterfly effect. Sam, I think, said that to you too. Yeah, that's a butterfly effect. It's small things can change the whole world, really. And you don't, if you want to change the world, really change yourself. You don't have to.
Exactly.
It's just change yourself and change the perspective you have on the world, and then you doing something really.
And convey this in a certain energy. So this is what we're doing. This energy is becoming intoxicating. I'm intoxicated every time I speak with one of my fellow members. And so this is going to be pervasive, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. And so I'm absolutely ecstatic to be a part of it. And so, like you say, it's a perfect opportunity to end this on. We've gone round in the circles, and we've come back now that it's us. We are change, and it's happening, and it's just happening here. For a start, we don't need to be out in the streets. We don't need to be doing anything major that's going to be threatening us individually, big inconveniences. All we've got to do is start it in here, start the seeds, the thought seeds, and then we express around us, and that's the growth. That becomes growth. And before you know it, there's a huge beanstalk raging up out of the ground to be reckoned with.
Yeah, man, that's, perfectly to end it, man. Perfectly to.
Yeah, brilliant. Another great conversation, Chris. So what date will you be back on?
Yeah, for 2 weeks. I think it is 22nd or 23rd. Yeah. I think it's the 22nd this month. I will be back and have internet again. But for 2 weeks, I'm helping out the community now. So.
Okay, brilliant. So make some videos, do some reports, and come back with all the info. And hit me up again when you get back, man, to discuss it.
I will, man. I will send you an email or on Skype or whatever. I will message you.
Yeah, brilliant. Nice one. So have a fantastic trip. And,
thank you.
Look forward to seeing you when you get back.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks.
Cheers, bud. Cheers.